What's up, Jack's RC and Garage Life? How's it going, buddy? You know, I was going to... Oh, I got my audio turned up. Yeah, I decided we're going to do a little unboxing live instead of putting together a video, which, you know, there's lots of videos out there on unboxings, but I figured just pick this thing up today. I know some of you guys were seeing my post and we're talking about that last night during the other live stream. So I figured, what the heck, we'll do the unboxing live here, and you guys can check out the new toy to the channel. What's up, Joe Gurdon? How's it going, bud? Thompson, how's it going? Andy B, good evening. Yeah, you're in the UK, so it's definitely evening. It's just, what time is it here anyway? I don't even know. Somewhere around 4 o'clock almost. But anyway, guys. Yeah. Went to the hobby shop today and picked up the new car. And a week from today, from what I've heard, there's going to be a new car coming out, I believe. But I guess we'll see what we get, see what's out there. But some of you, well, one of you, and I can't remember who it was now, last night actually guessed what the car was. RC Crazy Driver, how's it going? Thank you, man. Scott Clark, how's it going? Are you talking about the WhatsApp? Wait, what app? Oh, never mind. You know, I'm still catching not emails, but messages from last night's debacle with the Mojave giveaway, and people getting the messages about sending them money and they won past giveaways and all this other garbage. Some people were telling me that they were asking for like $150 for me to send, or for them to claim their prize. I mean, that just blew my mind when I was seeing some of these messages and what people were telling me, what these scammers were asking of them. Just, man. Can't stand it. I'm still trying to figure out. We're going to put together another video with the Everest giveaway. Or you know what? We might even keep it even more down low and just do it on a live stream. I don't know how we do that. Anybody have any good ideas on how we could do a random person giveaway on a live stream? Never done that before. Yeah, I like the Techno Pit Map. We were up at this was actually, guys, a gift from Trevor. We were at the RC track, the racetrack yesterday, and I was in there looking around at some stuff, and I was browsing through the aisles, and me and him were talking, and I was looking at the pit maps. I said, man, that's a sweet pit map. And then I was going and talking to some of the guys about some parts for my Techno for the ET48. And Trevor come rolling back over and handed it to me. He goes, here you go. And Trevor was really nice, and he bought me this Techno map. Thing is nice. So, I don't know if Trevor's in here or not. I know I was just talking with him. But yeah, this was a nice gift from Trevor. Thing's sweet. Covers the bench nicely too, and I can actually wipe this thing off. Unlike the carpet that was under here, this thing I can actually spray down and wash off. And plus, the racetrack asked if I had a pit mat, and I didn't, because I'm a noob when it comes to the racetrack world. So at least I got this. I can also just pop this off and take it with me. You can get everyone in the live stream. There's a site you can... Yeah, I don't have anything pulled up. I'd have to find out what app that is or what thing that is. But anyway, guys. Here we go. As you guys seen from the thumbnail, we got a Mojave now to the channel, and it is the red and black one. Just went and got this today from my local hobby shop here. And a lot of you guys know Playthings, etc. here in Butler, Pennsylvania. Great group of guys down there. And I called up Tim down there that runs the main hobby department. And said, do you have any Mojaves down there? He goes, not the second. He goes, but if you let me know in the next 5 minutes, I can have it here for you in a day or two. So, here it is. And I'm sure we are going to have some fun with this thing. Yeah, I was, who is this that? Fred's. I was debating back and forth between the RTR or the EXB. Because I have electronics. I have an extra set of 6S electronics I could have put in an EXB. The only reason there's a couple of reasons I went with the RTR. Number one, other than my Italian hoagie, everything I have bought RTR, I, for some reason, had better luck with than the EXB version. Big one on the top of that list is the Creighton 6S. However, and also I was talking to a couple guys. I was talking to Earl because he's got a couple of these Mojaves and he's got both of them. And I asked him. I said, on your opinion, I said, what, which one do you think which one of you had better luck with, the RTR or the EXB? And he goes, honestly, I've had better luck with the RTR. So I decided to go this route. It's honestly, as you guys know, it's probably not going to stay, stock very long. I already have some plans coming for some stuff from M2C Racing to fix this thing up and, strengthen up any of the weak points I run into. And usually the first thing I usually end up destroying on these things is the chassis. So I'm sure we'll be putting a new chassis under this thing and, some center braces and some so on. But I have never had one of these. And the last short course truck I actually had, I guess you consider this a short, well, I had the Sentin, I had the Arma Sentin, and had that thing for a while. And what was his name, Brandon? Who I was talking to last night on the live stream that needed the 3S parts. I got a whole entire box of 3S differentials and you name it, all kinds of stuff. I got shipped out to him today. Also, I got looking to see who's all in here because I might be talking about people that are already in here. Nice. I'll see it. But anyway. I lost train of thought there. But anyway, yeah, we're going to have some fun with this thing in its stock form, go out there and rip it around for a while, and then as things start bending, breaking, or having any issues with, we'll change them out like there. But yeah, anyway, this is my first 6S, short course truck, or trophy truck, whatever you call them. I had the Sentin 3S, had a lot of fun with that truck. That was one of the first cars I really started messing with. Had a lot of fun with that thing until I just eventually got to the point where it wasn't worth fixing. It just had so much broken and so much stuff worn out on it that I just kind of gave up on it. But it was a blast. It was a lot of fun truck. I also had the Traxxas Slash that I had fun with for a moment, but I had a ton of problems with it. The thing overheated all the time. Drive shafts snapped like toothpicks all the time. Always having issues with the ESC. Just a mixture of problems. So I didn't have the Slash very long. And those were both, obviously 3S. So this will be my first 6S short course truck. So I'm excited to have some fun with this thing. And the Parker, nice. I've got the yellow one. Checking some of your comments. So Fred's Toy Chest, what are you planning on putting in your EXB version? What are you planning on building that thing up like? I love the EXBs, They're a lot of fun because I enjoy them because you get to put in your own electronics and do all that stuff. I wish the Italian had came that way. I really was, many of you guys know, I was really unhappy that the Talon came RTR. I wanted that to be EXB because I knew I was going to put different electronics in it and do different stuff with it. Because now I got the Hobby Wing, the Mach 6 in there, and that thing is just, that truck's a blast. And after driving Earl's Mojave out there when I was out in California with him, I had a great time with this truck. And it was definitely on the top of my list to get. So I finally decided to pull the trigger on this thing. And we're going to have some fun with this thing for sure. Trying to keep up here. Since we're just kind of doing unboxing, we're going to kind of just chat go along here and get this thing out of the box and just have some fun. Honestly, guys, any of you guys that were on the live stream last night, I had a lot of fun. I mean, we weren't working on anything, but just getting to chat back and forth with you guys and the conversations, I had a really good time. So I figured we'd kind of put together live today of just unboxing this thing and checking it out and having a chat with any of you guys that are maybe killing time at work or maybe just chilling at home. Yeah, Fred, that combo, man. Like I said, that's what I got in the Talon, and that thing. It is just the perfect electronics combo for any of the 6S cars. It's just perfect. It's just got tons of power, and honestly, I mean, the electronics durability-wise, I've been really impressed with launching that Talon and flat landing that thing from 50, 60 feet in the air onto concrete. It's still been kicking. And honestly, biggest amazing thing that usually breaks on them first is the fan. And somehow I haven't even killed the fan on that ESC, which was really amazing. Oh, that's right, Earl. I know. You're probably going to have me making this thing 8S or something because I remember driving yours that we were ripping that thing across the field. That's right. Well, I'll have some fun with it in the 6S version for a little while. Or I'll put maybe the Hobby Wing combo in this thing. If it eventually feels, I need a little more oomph, we'll put a bigger combo in this thing or put maybe a castle setup in this thing because I'm sure it would rip pretty good with that. Does any of yours, Earl, do either one of your Mojaves have a castle setup or what was, I can't remember what was in those things. I don't remember now off the top of my head. Yes, Scott Clark, you are correct. The Talon is awesome. So, I don't think that this camera, let me take a look. I don't think this camera is going to catch it very well. Well, maybe kind of. I'll show you guys. So the other camera, yeah, it's a little too close for getting to catch this that great. So, we'll just go with this for now. But anyway, it's all your standard stuff that they're talking about with the stronger rear center brace mount on this. I don't know if any of this stuff is different, if this is a different version from any of the other ones. But, it gives you all the normal stuff. The previous hex sizes, the new hex sizes. It has a Spectrum SR315 receiver. It has the new SLT, the SLT3 transmitter. Standard Firma. The 2050 kV motor, it's all kind of the normal stuff. One thing I know that I've seen a lot of people break on these things, and I've seen lots of homemade, ways of helping it, are these top, we'll get this thing out of the box, but these top body mounts that are shaped, like a little oval that break on those hard upside down landings. Sugar, and I put a Max 5 18 kV beside one. Yeah, I bet, Joe, that thing had to have ripped. Holy cow. Alright, well, let's get this thing out of the box. Half the reason why I just wanted to do a live stream now and not try to do an unboxing video or anything else. Figured we'll just have some fun on here and check it out, but I didn't want to... Woo, she is pretty. Really digging, the color on the box does not do this thing any justice. I like it's more of a flatter matte black. Really digging this red and black. So, alright, get this. Oh yeah. We'll get this box. Wow, this is weird. This was one of the longest boxes I have ever got. For some reason, I didn't remember these things being this big, actually. I didn't remember the Mojave being this long. Ha! Alright. Wow. She floats. Now, might be able to get this a little better here. Sorry, guys, this camera's... Hopefully it's not too bright. It's always looks so much different on my computer, the cameras, versus when I actually see the video again on the live stream. They look way better. I'm not sure. I hope it looks all right. Heard the rear... All arms are a bit weak. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It smells new. High density foam. Yeah, it was the high density foam. I was seeing people sticking that foam underneath there to help cushion that stuff. Here. We'll do it properly. We'll do. Oh, yeah. It has that new car smell. Alright, well, now for the other best part. If I can get this undone. I'm not sure what they did here. They actually tied the plastic to the bumper. There we go. Oh, yeah. Man, this thing looks sharp. Yeah, I'm really liking this body color. I'm glad I got this one. It looks really good with this. Again, the red and black with the blue stars and stripes. I guess that's basically what it's going on the front hood here. It's got a nice matte finish to it on all the black stuff, and it looks really good. I'm trying to get it more straight on with the camera. It looks a little more natural like that. What's up, Froggy? How's it going, bud? Yeah, we're going to have to, just so you know, too, Frog, we have to do another giveaway video for the Everest 10, unfortunately, because of the scammers out there trying to scam everybody. But, check out underneath here. Yeah, it looks like, you know, standard setup. But this is kind of, what platform is this more off of? It kind of reminds me of, I keep wanting to say it. I mean, I know that's everybody makes these a lot of is with this chassis with a stretched Typhon, but it definitely resembles a lot of that. Just looking at the bottom, that is. Taking myself out. It's hard to read. Talking. Yeah, the Typhon TL, I mean, the Typhon period, guys. The Typhon is just an awesome buggy. I mean, that thing just flies like no other. That and the Italian Hoagie, you know, both of those cars just fly. And it has to do with that low center gravity and I think aerodynamics and stuff. But, I mean, guys, the thing is awesome. I've loved the Typhon. And now that I put the little bit wider hubs on this thing and gave it a slightly wider stance, I mean, the thing is just so stable and just flies like a rocket. Love the Typhon. It's snowing there. It's supposed to start snowing here today, too. It's starting to get darker out. Supposedly we're supposed to get snow today and tonight, so I'm actually kind of hoping we do, because like I said before, if it's going to be cold, at least snow. I know, Earl, you don't deal with that stuff. You're lucky to be out there in the warm weather all the time. The Mojave feels less stronger than the Creighton 6S. I don't know. I mean, I see a lot of people, and I've talked to a few people about this truck, and they say the fun factor and the durability of this thing has been really impressive. So, you know, they really hold up well. And you also have this body kind of protecting a lot of it, which helps that you're not having the wheels as exposed to getting hit and smacked and snapped off. So definitely see when you run a short course truck, there's a lot more protection here also. So that's definitely helps. TLR Typhon or the 6S? You know, they're basically the same truck. I mean, they're the same thing, except there's some suspension differences. The tuning is a little bit finer. If you're just running it as a basher and going to go out there and beat it around, I mean, I would probably just get the regular Typhon 6S. I mean, the TLR looks pretty cool, definitely with the other or the other shock towers and the body and stuff like that. I mean, it's definitely a cool looking buggy. But again, if you're just going to go out and rip the thing around and bash it, you know, I would probably just go with the regular Typhon, to be honest with you. What's up, GURC? GURURC. How's it going, bud? Thanks to you. I appreciate that. Okay. Well, let's get... Oh, that's right. I forgot. The Mojave has Velcro on the sides. Holy cow, and it sticks. Wow. Yeah, it's a nice, pretty thick body. I mean, it's definitely a nice heavy body on this thing. Hopefully it holds together pretty well. I'll probably do what I've recently been doing on a lot of the cars, mainly because after... No. Stupid computer's trying to make me do updates right now. Are you kidding me? But I'm probably going to do to this body what I've been doing to most of my cars, because I decided to do the... what are you doing, computer? I decided to do the drywall tape and shoe goo on the X-Max body. Does it help the durability of it? Absolutely. Would I ever do it again? Absolutely not. That was one of the most... That was like 4 hours of my life I will never get back. I'm telling you, just getting everything stuck in there and then having to hot glue everything. I mean, I used the sticky drywall tape so that it stuck to the body, but still trying to form it to all the cracks, all the crevices, hot gluing all the edges together, and putting all of it together was just something I never want to do again. I mean, just to be completely honest, I never will shoe goo a body again. Does it help? Does it help my X-Max body? Absolutely. But I will never do it again. What's up, Monster Jam? Fans of Europe? How's it going, man? That's right. You made... did you just make the windshield, or do they sell those things? Because I see you got the two nice screws right here in the front. You know, you could probably use these in a way to, you know, mount a windshield in there. I remember seeing your windshield in yours. I don't know how it was mounted, though. Sorry. Still dealing with a little bit of congestion. Charge the LiPo battery now. You know, we're going to try something else, because I haven't done it yet. Obviously not right this minute. But we decided, I was talking with Trevor, and we're going to try next time we're like, you know, at the BMX track or skate park or something. We're going to do a live from the phone down there and just, you know, let Trevor go around recording and ripping it around as, you know, we have fun down there. So we're going to try that next time. Haven't done a live from the phone yet, but definitely want to give it a try, because it could be a good time. Let everybody join in on a live bash. Or see something. Yes, made a windshield out of garage door plastic windows. I don't think I have any clear plastic, but I could get some easy enough. I had a bunch of, like, I guess it wouldn't matter if it was smoked or not, or what color it was. But yeah, I'll have to get those made up. I'll have to get a windshield for it, because that definitely helps with the aerodynamics too, so you don't get so much of that air scoopage in here, and number one, slowing it down, and, you know, aerodynamics and stuff. That was always my one thing that I had an issue with the Senton, and the Slash for that matter, was when you launch the short course trucks, the amount of floating that the Senton did. I mean, you get that thing in the air and going fast enough, I mean, it just floated around like a parachute. You would have it nice and flat coming off, but by the end of the jump, the thing had floated upside down and it's now landing on its roof. But obviously it was a lighter truck, and the body, like this, velcros to the side. I know there's still some gaps in here, but, you know, at least it's a heavier truck, and hopefully it doesn't float as much. The suspension on this thing, like, is so soft. We're gonna drive it, see what it's like. Might have to stiffen that up a little bit for probably what I will want to do with this thing. But definitely got a nice plush feel to it. Wow. But anyway, it's got the Spectrum S652 servo in this thing. You know, certain cars I've had that came stock with this servo, some of them died on the first run, and other ones are still lasting. Like the one in the Typhon 6S and the one in the Talon, can't kill them. I have not been able to kill the servo. They are still kicking, and it has amazed me. Now, it was the red servos that they were putting in the older RTR models that were just garbage. I mean, those things, you were lucky if you got one pack out of them just because the servos died constantly. That was a RC Guy Garage quote right there. Not even one pack, right? Temper proof on the windshield. Checking some of you guys' stuff. Find a t-shirt with a target on it and make Trevor wear. You know, RC something. I was actually putting together a shirt that had a bullseye on it. What was the quote on it now? Because it had Trevor's name and then it had a bullseye kind of going over top of it. I was putting it together in, the Photoshop editor thing. It had Trevor's name and a bullseye going over top of it, and I had some sort of quote on top of it, but I don't remember what it was now. We thought about doing the other thing that a lot of people that I didn't even catch what I said during the video, but people got a big kick out of was the fact that I was like, well, Trevor's the usual target and stuff like that. Thought about doing something like that. You think the RTR server will die? I don't know. We'll see what happens in this one. A couple of them have lasted really long. Some of them have died quick. But man, this suspension on this thing feels different from any other car I've had. It is so soft and bouncy and flexible. But so any of you guys that have these, has there been any immediate things that you've ran into that were, I know this is always kind of the annoying question. You see lots of things. Oh, I just bought this. What are the first things I should do? It's got to be in that annoying question, I guess, is, I know these, getting a piece of like a high-density foam or something like that to stick onto the front and rear shock towers to keep these from shattering, especially in this cold weather. But I don't know what else. I guess we'll start seeing what this thing is like, how it jumps. Boy, this thing is a lot stiffer. I don't know if that's the motor, but even the whole drivetrain just has a different feel to it. It has more tension. I'm not sure if the mesh is too tight. I want to take a look at that because it doesn't feel right. Now the mesh is okay. Got just that light little paper, paper gap in there. It seems all right. Vervo stops centering. Yeah, I have. I got a couple extra servos here, some 25 and 35 kilogram servos. Already I got some on my parts shelf over here. I always keep a couple on hand anymore just because, it's one of those annoying things when they die and not having one be able to fix the thing up. But definitely a nice looking truck. These tires, I don't know if it's just what they're covered with. But they're like kind of hard. Like they're not as soft rubber as I thought they would have been. They're kind of a harder rubber, definitely. But we'll see what it's like. Lots of other options out there to put on there for need be. Got the DS 3225. Yeah, servos, the only car in this entire now 18 car fleet that I have spent more than $35 on a servo is the Techno. That one I spent, it was like $140 for the servo I put in that thing. But everything else, I have got these Amazon. Let me see if I got one, if I can pull this out easily or not. Somewhere here. If I can find it. Well, I lied, guys. I can't. It must. I don't know where I got it. But anyway, you guys have seen them. They're those blue or red 35 kilogram, 30 kilogram Amazon servos. They're like, $25, $30. I have changed out so many of mine with those, and I have not had to change them again. And I mean, that's, beating on the cars, pretty decently. I've had great luck with those cheap little servos. And, you can grab 3 or 4 of them and have them on hand, so when you do kill one, you got another one in backup. They work really nice. I mean, are they the fastest or the most torquiest thing you can get out there? No. But for bashing, I mean, you don't need a $150 servo to bash. If you're going to go out and race, or, a speed run car, something you need more precision, yeah, I completely agree with that. But on a basher, I don't see any sense in going out there and destroying a $150 servo. But again, that's just my personal thoughts on that. Yeah, getting the unboxing on the Mojave here. I'm going to check over a couple things. Make sure all the normal important stuff are tight, so that the first time I go out, I don't lose it. Real quickly, before we do that, we'll see, what do I get in the box? What is in the little box besides the obvious? Anything new or special? So, we get more cardboard. We get some bubble wrap. Yep, regular Spectrum SLT3 transmitter. Don't mind these transmitters; they're not too bad. For an RTR transmitter, they're definitely 100 times better than those. What are those? The DX2s or whatever those things were that were coming with them originally. Those transmitters were trash. I don't think I have any of those left anymore. I had kind of thrown out and got rid of a lot of them because I would never even put them back in another car. It just it wasn't worth it with the delay and the distance on those things. It caused too many crashes, so I wouldn't even use them again. What do we got? I was between the Mojave and the X-Max, but the fun that you have with the X-Max, I just ordered the big. Nice. You have a lot of fun with the X-Max. The truck is definitely a good time, and you can go out there and beat on that thing pretty well, and it will do you well. Then we got the optional high-speed gearing on here. I'm not sure what tooth this is. On this little piece of paper in here, you'd think that they could tell you, hey, you got this gear with it. It's just too bright. I feel like this light is just... That looks better to me. Does that look better to you guys? Because some of it just seems kind of bright. But anyway, here we go. So this is a 26. What is this? So we get the old razor blade out here. See what we got in here. Might even be a gear that... This is a 20 tooth. So I'm going to guess there's probably, like a 16 or something is the stock one, somewhere in that area. It's going to be my guess. I also give you, which is really nice now that Arma's doing this, is actually giving you shims with the kit, which is nice because we all know the differentials is a must with shimming those things right off the bat because you'll just start wrecking those things. So you got your optional gearing, shim kit, optional valves for your pistons, for your suspension, and your normal bag of tool goodies. And I'm thinking about, I could probably melt down all these kits that I have. I could probably melt down and make myself my own chassis parts maybe. And we got the Arma stickers. Oh, well, here's a piece of paper telling you about the gearing. 95 plus. Why are they going to do kilometers? Who? I'm not. I know. Do you guys think, is that just like a marketing thing so that people just glance at the box and see 95 and automatically think it's miles per hour? Like you're going to buy a car in a box, other than the X01 that supposedly does 100 mile an hour out of the box, what you're going to do that does that fast. So 95 kilometers plus with the optional gearing. Oh. Well, I guess it helps. Wow, that camera just is wanting to blow everything out really bad. Sorry about that. Anyway, so if you flip this piece of paper on the other side, it gives you miles per hour. Started running my mouth before I flipped the paper over. Well, you have that. What's up, old and slow? Did you get any snow up? Not yet. It is about to hit here. Voss 729. We are supposed to be getting snow here. It's supposed to be starting here anytime this evening. It hasn't started just yet, but supposedly, I actually hope we get some snow. Because it's cold as all get out outside. And it was windy as all hell last night. But anyway, sorry, I was just checking out, see if there's any comments, if there's anything. What if the small print said centimeters per hour? Well, maybe this folds into 4 pieces and we got another whole thing. Anyway. Well, all right, real quickly, to answer old and slow, why did I get the RTR? Mainly because either out of all the cars and different things that I've had, and EXB models and RTR models, I've tend to have better luck with the RTR side. Now, take for instance, the Creighton 6S EXB and the the Talon 6S EXB. Both of those come as EXBs, supposedly with this better chassis, which is, for me, was one of the big selling points of the EXB, was supposedly have a 7075 better chassis, right? Well, I've bent 2 of the 6S EXBs on the Creighton. I bent it earlier on, put another one of the Arma ones on there, bent it again, ended up going and putting the M2C Racing chassis under it. The Talon, same thing. It came with an EXB chassis. And I bent that chassis. It now has an M2C Racing chassis under it. So really, for me, at this point, between the issues I had with just kind of a slight bad taste in my mouth, and I might be holding on to this too long, I probably am, but after all the issues with the EXB on the Creighton, it still always kind of pushed me between the differential issues I had with that, the problems I had with that EXB, and the chassis still being garbage on the EXB models. I see no point in buying that and buying electronics. So if I just get the RTR, I'll run this once this chassis bends. At least then I'm not out anything different. If I'm going to put an M2C Racing chassis under the Mojave, then, it'll probably be inevitably what I'm going to do anyway. So at least this way, if I want to change the electronics out on this, I now have a full set of RTR electronics as a backup and a spare if I decide to put, a Hobby Wing combo or something else in this. There's really just no great selling points of the EXB that are enough to make me want to do that, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that's making any sense or not. Because Arma is 7075, their shock towers and their chassis, until somebody can show me the plant where they are making this stuff, I do not believe that is real 7075 aluminum. Their shock towers, the shock towers and the chassis are on the EXBs are garbage. They're not what they should be. I mean, they just don't hold together. You don't get 7075 aluminum just bending as easily as it does. I mean, those chassis, up here, I'll show you. This is another one of them. There's another one up there from the Creighton, but this was the one from, I think this is from the Typhoon. And I mean, this was supposedly 7075. And I mean, guys, you can just bend this stuff and it just warps. It just instantly warps. If that was real 7075, it would be springing back. And it's not. I don't know what kind of aluminum it is, but I have a hard time believing it's real 7075. So that's the main reason why. At this point, I can get the RTR, get the electronics in it, go out, have some fun with it now, not have to buy more electronics, and then just upgrade it as I go. Because inevitably, all my RTR cars are now running all kinds of aftermarket parts between chassis and shock towers, you name it. So start with the RTR and build it up from there. That's how I've been looking at it at this point. I got the Talon EXB RTR only because that's the only way it came now. And I didn't really want that to be RTR because I was just I knew I wanted to put different electronics in it, but it's the only way the thing was coming now, so I had to get it in that version. And many of you know I wasn't real thrilled with that even then. Yeah, Alan, I don't know if it's a different temper, what it is. But it's not, I know that everybody tempers stuff in real 70, 75 chassis, like the M2C racing chassis. I mean, those things. I mean, guys, that Creighton 8S, the weight of that thing. It's got a lot of extra aluminum pieces on it, the weight of a Creighton 8S. And I mean, that thing took a full flying header into a telephone pole at full speed. And that chassis is straight as an arrow still. If that was a stock chassis or the EXB chassis, I mean, that thing would have been folded up like a taco. So there's something to be said about real 75 chassis. I mean, there's a big difference. So that's my opinion on the EXBs. I mean, they're still a lot of fun. You get it that way. It all depends, again, on what you're going to do with the truck and how much you're going to beat on it. I mean, it just goes for all the cars. Everything has different everybody's bashing style is different, and it doesn't matter. It's all fun. But this is why I decided to go this route. And I was talking to Earl, like I said earlier on about it, and he had mentioned that he personally had better luck with his RTR and was happier with that one. So that was just one extra selling point on why I was just picking up the RTR, because figured, if he's had better luck with that version, I'll go from that, and then as things break, I'll upgrade it and have some more fun with it. Sorry, I know I've been sitting here going on again for a minute and probably been missing messages or things here. It's cold. You're in Murphy, North. Wait a minute. Hold on, Lucas. How cold is cold as a, what? If you're in North Carolina, it can't be, in the 20s, right? Looking, sleet, snow here. Oh, thanks, Jason. Yeah, I know. I don't know what is going on with my wide shot here, but no matter what I've been doing with lights, I cannot make this camera happy. I think I'm going to change out and get a different camera because this thing is driving me crazy. The white balance on it just will not stay. You try to set it, you try to adjust it down, and then as soon as any lights or things start moving around, it goes all out again. And it's not even there's not like an option for an auto or manual. It's just a white balance feature. So I got to get something with a little more tuning ability. All right, I have a question for you. You probably have answered 100 times before, but what is the meaning of your channel name? Well, it's a good question, because I've had the question asked many times. So, the name Bars&tone I started the channel, I made the YouTube channel a number of years ago. Never did anything with it, never posted anything on there. It just sat dormant for probably a couple years. I had originally had plans, because I work in television broadcasting. We do like live sports broadcasts of stuff you watch on TV. I was originally kind of wanting to do some stuff with like some behind the scenes and just kind of like the television world. And I was originally going to put together just some short videos and stuff of kind of like how a live television broadcast is put together. Because there's a ton of stuff, guys. When you guys watch a football game or a baseball game at home, even something as small as that, and you start talking about the Olympics and Super Bowls, the amount of stuff going on and the amount of people and electronics and infrastructure that goes on behind the scenes is just mind-blowing. I mean, it's crazy. When I first started in it, I thought there was a truck with a few cameras. They shot it and that was it. No, I mean, it's an unbelievable amount of stuff going on to put on a television broadcast. But anyway, getting off topic again, or kind of on topic, but off subject. So that was the original reason I started. Well, anyway, I made the name Bars&tone. It was just that originally because before every live broadcast, whenever you're sending your final signal out of the truck to the world, whether you're going satellite or fiber, whenever you do a check-in test with whoever you're doing it with, whatever network, the first thing you send out are color bars. You see it on your television, the color bars, and tone. You get your color bars and Bars&tone. That's where the name came from. So I had to name that, and when I first started on the RC side, I kind of left it, and I just posted up some videos, just kind of like putting them there just to have some videos of things I was doing, never thinking that all of this was going to go where it is today, especially in a short amount of time. And I kind of just left the name and kind of liked it because honestly, it was different. It doesn't make any sense. Honestly, it has nothing to do with the RC world. It's kind of a cross between my hobby and my work. And it was just a name that kind of came to play with those things. And I've left it alone. And now I don't want to change it at this point because I feel a lot of people, have come to, know the channel by that name. And it's just kind of odd. It doesn't make any sense. And honestly, I'm okay with that. So that's my best explanation on why the channel is Bars&tone RC. What's up, Big Al RC? How's it going? Oh boy, 19 degrees. Woo! Wow, Jason, I can't believe that. No, I know. Jason, honestly, as soon as I had fired this up initially last night for the first live stream, well, not the first, but the live stream I did last night trying to get people to not get scammed by these people that were trying to scam everybody in the comments. As soon as I saw the lights, I'm like, why can't I get this? And I started messing with it for a second, but I could not make the camera happy. And I just kind of went, I got to get a different camera. I got to find something else that's going to work better down here that I can kind of get a different shot. So that'll be something else I got to work on next is a different camera for down here. But anyway, I know we've completely got off the unboxing video at the moment. Yeah, Big Al, the poor Creighton, man, that thing took a nasty header into that telephone pole. And I mean, that bulkhead, honestly, for the hit that it gave, the hit that it got with breaking the bulkhead and the other parts, I mean, the only thing I got or I needed to get really was the A-arms. And I ordered the RPM A-arms for it. I'm going to put on it. And but the bulkheads I already had. I had ordered those when I first got the Outcast 8S. I had just ordered some extra 8S bulkheads just so that I had them if I ever busted one. And I think I got them on eBay at some point. They were like both of them for $10 or $12 or something. It was really cheap. So I had those, and I ordered the RPM A-arms. And then I'm getting all the new hinge pins and hinge pin braces. And all of that is coming from M2C Racing, so I can get those things. So hopefully don't have those shattering and exploding like these ones next time. Hopefully there's no next time. I know, what's his name? In here likes to call me Bars and Pole RC because, I like slamming into trees and telephone poles and everything else. But unfortunately, it is a fitting name because I have hit so many things this summer between trees, telephone poles, and porta-johns. It's somewhat fitting. Porta-johns have been funny though, and at least there's some cushion there. That plastic gives, but the telephone poles and trees not so much. Thanks for stopping by, Al, and I appreciate it, bud. Have a good evening, man. What else we got? around the Creighton success. I think it will be fun around the Creighton success tomorrow. Yeah, definitely take the Creighton out there. Give it a rip around. Have it fun. You know, all I do when I'm running any of the cars in the snow, try to not completely encase the ESC in snow. But, I mean, they're decently waterproof. I don't want to say they're completely waterproof. But all I've ever done after I get done running them in the snow is, if you can, blow them out. You know, if you have an air compressor or a leaf blower. And then I turn them upside down and let everything drip out and fall out of the electronics and stuff drip out that way so that it's not sitting in a pool on the bottom. Let them dry upside down. And I think within the last 2 or 3 winters of running them in the snow, I have had one car die, or ESC die, during the winter. And I don't even know if that was due to the snow or if it was just, the ESC just naturally died. So I haven't had like a whole bunch of extra failure rate or anything like that from running them in the snow. So I would be terribly concerned. I just go out and have some fun with them and enjoy it. If you really want to have some fun, you get some deeper snow, get some paddle tires. Then you can really throw some roofs to snow around with them. Thunk one. Oh, that Porta-John, man. Like, I know the audio on any of the videos that has happened on does not do it justice. You get that big empty plastic container and it's just like this boom. It sounds like a huge, drum. It's kind of a funny sounding noise. I once hit a pole in a completely empty park. Oh, and your truck caught fire. Crushed the lipo, huh? Yeah, that's a bad thing. When you start smashing the lipos and the cars catch on fire, then you're into a whole another problem for sure. You know what? Knock on wood, I haven't had a battery catch fire yet in a car. I have had a ESC in a Traxxas Rustler I had catch fire once and almost burned the car completely to the ground. But I got the battery unplugged from it quick enough that it melted the body and the side, and I mean, obviously a lot of the stuff was toast, but I think I got the car fixed back up again. And that was after I called Traxxas and you told them, because I hadn't had the car that long and the ESC caught fire. And they're like, well, send the ESC in and then, we'll figure out if it's under warranty. If it's not, then they said usually with fires it's hard to determine, so we could send you another ESC at a discount. And I'm like, that was, love or hate Traxxas, their warranty is not it's not the best in the world. I've had far better luck with Armor warranty with Horizon Hobby, and you guys know, it's nothing to do with being Armor, anything. It's just I have called up Horizon Hobby multiple times, with motors and ESCs and things that have gone bad in the past, and literally had no question. They just said, shoot us a copy of the receipt. Sent him a copy of the receipt that day, later that evening, and got an email back, your new ESC is on the way. No questions, nothing, just, here's your new part. I had one incident during the summer, though, with the ESC on the Talon, and that's what made me just chuck the electronics out of the Talon, was because the ESC died on that thing on, it was a second or third run on that. The ESC died, and I called Horizon, expecting, no problems. Told them what happened. Like, okay, well, send us the ESC. Once our department can go through it and determine if it's warranty or not, we'll get back to you and make a determination. I'm like, I literally told the guy, I said, are you kidding me? I said, I just bought this car. I said, I've ran it 3 times, and now you want me to wait? Because he literally told me, he said, it's probably going to be 12 to 15 days before they even look at it once they get it. I said, so realistically, I'm looking at probably a month before I get a part back from you guys to run this car that I just bought. And he goes, well, we're a little behind right now. And I just told him, I said, you know what? I said, forget it. I said, I hung up the phone and I went and bought the Hobby Wing Cabo for the thing because I just got the wrong dude on the wrong day. He was being a real pain in the you-know-what about everything. But, all those other times that I've dealt with them, they were great and just sent me out the parts and, didn't give me too many hassles. Yes, yes, boss. I did have a fire in my garage with that wasn't in a car, but I did have a lipo fire. Actually, I had a multiple battery lipo fire, and this Venom charger, they were hooked up to my Venom Duo here, and you can't see it, but the whole front of it's kind of melted and it's all deformed, but it still works. But yeah, I had a couple of batteries on that thing. Plugged them in, started charging, decided I was going to go upstairs and grab a shower real quick, and just during that 15 minutes that I was upstairs, one of the batteries shorted during charging and all caught fire. And I think the two batteries I had on the charger went up in fire. 2 or 3 other ones that were sitting beside them went up in fire. And I mean, my whole bench, all this, because there was 2 other benches here originally. All this whole table caught fire, was melted onto the floor. I mean, it was a mess. An absolute mess in this place. Yeah, it was a scene that night, because I literally turned off the water of the shower, opened the door, and I hear the smoke alarms going off, and I'm like, what in the world is that? And then it finally hit me. I'm like, and the smoke, and all of a sudden I could smell the smoke and see the smoke coming up from the downstairs hall. And yeah, so needless to say, I was running around this basement, putting out a lipo fire with blankets and an old jacket, trying to smother it, all while in my birthday suit. So that was a fun time. And let me tell you, dealing with a fire naked is not a great time. I don't suggest it. I highly give that a thumbs down, because that was not a good evening. But I did get the fire out, and then I grabbed a shovel or broom thing and slid the whole entire molten mound of batteries and plastic out the garage door and let this place air out. And I had probably like 3 days of cleaning the upstairs and the downstairs. Luckily, the third story didn't get it really much, but man, the second story and the basement obviously were a bit of a mess. I was cleaning every single surface in this house for, like I said, a few days. Yes, it was a very, very scary moment. I mean, when I opened up this basement door to come down the steps, because I mean, the upstairs had a lot of smoke in it, and as soon as I opened up this basement door, I mean, it was literally as if you put your hands over your eyes. I could not see a thing except the fire glowing in the corner. It was pitch black, because the black smoke was so thick down here. It was a scary, scary moment, because, I mean, the fire was pretty bad, and I didn't know if I was going to get to put it out. I didn't know if everything was about to burn to the ground. Like, it was definitely a moment I never wanted to relive again, and that's why now it's like I charge everything in the steel ammo cans. I store everything in steel ammo cans. Whenever I leave for work trips and stuff, I keep them in the steel ammo cans, and I put them in the center of my garage in the middle of the concrete floor, so that even if anything were to happen, that they're not near anything that could possibly, even if the one of those canisters were to pop open, that there's nothing else they can touch to catch fire, hopefully. Because after that experience, man, that was no fun. Yeah, Chad Davis, you tuned in at a good moment with the naked firefighting, and like I said, I don't suggest it at all. Yeah, I've been looking at those bat safes. I have been thinking about picking one of those up. Another reason, because I'm getting ready to I want to get a quad charger. I have this Venom Duo charger right now, but I want to get a quad. I want to be able to charge 4 batteries at one time. And I don't know any of you guys in here right now that have any quad chargers that charge, pretty fast. I mean, obviously not trying to kill the batteries, but something that charges, pretty fast. If you have any good suggestions that guys have had for a while, and good luck with, please chime in. I've been looking at some different ones that were on Amazon and eBay and, different places on different sites. And I've seen a few of them, ranging anywhere from like $250 to $400. And I mean, they look really nice, but I haven't had any of them, so I'm not sure what might be the best one. Yeah, the garage is all heated down here. So, I mean, it stays always right around 65 degrees is usually where I keep it. And then when I'm down here, if I'm going to be down here working for the night, I'll turn it up a tiny bit if I want. But it's usually always sitting around 65 degrees in the basement or the garage here. That saved my house. I don't doubt that, man. These batteries, you could look at these things and think there's nothing, they look fine, everything's great, and, on one of the bashes, you're out, and, something internally is just enough that it's just on the verge of shorting one of the cells out inside, and that's all it takes. You barely tap that thing and it's on the verge, just enough to have them go up. And that's why now it's like anything, I used to sit there and try to save the batteries. If I got a battery that I left alone for a little while and it wasn't charging right, or it wasn't staying fully charged, or one cell wasn't charging right, like, I'll try to recover it or just use it as a backup. Or if it starts swelling up, I do not hold on to them anymore. I mean, as soon as one starts acting weird at all, I chuck it. I throw it in one of the battery disposal things, and it's gone. Because, burning down your entire house or garage, or worse, losing a life over a, $50, $60 battery is not worth it, guys. It's not. As much as you hate to throw that battery, the money away, dealing with that stuff and the mess and the problems that it can cause is not worth it at all. So that is definitely my piece of advice on batteries. That battery is not worth your house or your life. So you're getting back into nitro? Yeah, that's just it. It's like nothing in the bat safe for anything. As long as you keep it contained, you might have some smoke and stuff like that, but at least you're not going to burn everything down. And that's the big thing. Christian's RC, what's going on, buddy? I know I saw your comment earlier from last night's live stream. You'd missed it. Tortured RC, what's up, buddy? Well, Christian, yeah, we're kind of doing obviously a live unboxing here with the new Mojave, and we've been checking it out, and mainly sitting here just talking again. But anyway, we're gonna get back to what I was originally trying to do, and that was going over all of the important screws on this thing and the wheel nuts, because I hate going out on the first run and having screws start falling out that weren't tight, or ones that are not Loctited and things like that. So usually like going over all the main important stuff on the chassis, motor, and all that good stuff, and wheel nuts, because I don't know how many times I have gotten in a hurry, getting a new car and going out and running it, and going out there and driving around for 10 minutes and having one of my wheels go blowing past me. It's like, how did I not check the tire? I got a set of the M2C, the hub extensions, the same ones I put on the Typhon, I have coming that I was going to try on this thing, to widen the stance of this out a little bit. If I want to, I'm going to have them, but I was thinking about giving them a try on this thing, and plus they come with their locking nuts, which I know lock these wheels down, which was always a big issue I see a lot of people have with this thing, was losing the wheel nuts on this truck, but I think that's people that were running this thing with bigger power systems and running it on 8S and stuff like that, because I know, like Earl Moorhead, he was having wheel nuts coming off of his all the time, but again, he was running a lot of power on his. But the wheel nuts were actually relatively tight. What's up, Chris Stevens? How's it going, bud? What we got here? Chad, it's 13 degrees here and snowing. It's just starting to get dark outside now. I don't see any snow at the basement window. I'm honestly hoping that it snows. I want to see some snow. I'm tired of just cold weather and no snow. I'd actually like to take a couple of the cars out and run them in the snow. It's amazing, like so many of these right here on the stuff on the chassis, that they're like they're just tight enough that they're touching the chassis, but they're actually not tight. At least the steering stuff was. Like I said, guys, tonight, just kind of messing around. And figured rather than putting together a video that everybody has seen a million times. See, like here's all the motor mount screws. That one just turned 3 times, maybe 2 times. These were all pretty loose. I had the issue, a bunch of even stock. I always had the rear tire. Getting the M2C locking that set up had the issue. Yeah, that's what... Earl, you want the snow but not the cold. Yeah, I mean, that would be awesome if you could have snow and not have cold. I'll tell you, that could be kind of fun. If you could go out there, and I know there's certain times of the winter where you have that, where it's, you could go out in a shorts and a t-shirt and there's still snow on the ground, but it's definitely not the norm. But that would be kind of fun to be able to be warm and go out and have some fun in the snow. I mean, I grew up here in the Northeast, so I'm used to the cold and the snow and driving in it and all that good stuff. Man, everything is loose. But yeah, I got kind of used to it, and I enjoy actually driving around in the wintertime, as crazy as that might sound. I love when you get into parking lots that are empty, and you go in there and you can sit there and do some donuts and drift around. Because my truck, you take the anti-slip off, and it drifts quite nicely, actually. Yeah, all the stuff holding the ESC and all these in the battery boxes are barely, they just are touching the frame. But I'm getting almost a full turn out of all of them. What anybody else doing out there tonight? Working on anything? Building anything? Having some fun with anything? I'm planning on... I got some pieces coming for the Techno. I'm trying to change some stuff in the steering because I learned that I don't like the steering links on that thing. And I found a guy last night at the track that had... And I don't know if anybody else out there, does anybody else in this chat right now have the Techno, the ET, or the EB48? I'm trying to find, and a guy last night at the racetrack, or yesterday, had one. I can't seem to find it. Because I asked him, he's like, oh yeah, I found this at the market. But it was the steering, the servo horn, and the link that goes from, the horn to your steering linkage. It was all aluminum. There was no plastic, and the links were very tight. Like, there was no slop in that thing at all. And I was trying to find it, but I cannot seem to locate the thing anywhere. There's the man himself, Trevor. What's up, buddy? Did you just get in here? Or have I been sitting here running my mouth too long? Yeah, Trevor is thinking about picking one of the things up, and we might have some dueling Mojaves running around. We'll see how this one runs and let him take it for a rip and see how he likes it. I'm just kind of going over everything at this point and making sure all the important stuff is tight. It's usually the first thing you lock. I got some extra stuff for this thing already if I break anything. But I don't see a lot of things like shock standoffs and stuff like that breaking anywhere near as easy on this thing as you would on other cars, because there's so much stuff protecting it that it seems like a lot of that stuff is pretty well covered. Yeah, everybody say hi to Trevor, the man, the target himself. Joining in here tonight. I was talking with him a little bit ago. But, what are you doing, Grass? Still at work, working on my MT4. Yeah, the MT4. Man, I'm telling you what, I'm seeing a lot of people messing around. I don't want to say messing around, but doing these MT410 builds. I know Earl right now is getting ready to put together a series with him building his. And a lot of people are saying, they are a really stout truck. It might have to be another build. I want to do another build because after the Techno build, that I thoroughly enjoyed building that Techno, the ET48. Honestly, it was some of the most relaxing moments just sitting down here at night, turning on the radio, and just sit there and build that thing was just some of the most relaxing moments I had. Really enjoyed it. So I want to do another build. I just don't know what I want to do. I thought about building a buggy and building the ET because it's, number one, it's smaller, and for running on the track it would be nice. But then it's like I have 2 track cars that I'm kind of afraid to take out and do anything else with. So I don't know if I really want to do that. So that's why I was thinking about something, a basher type thing that I could do a build on and have some fun with it. So I might do that. To see how Earl likes, that MT and how the build goes. Have you started putting that thing together yet, Earl? Like, have you started constructing? Is everything pretty nice on it? Nice. Mojave's an absolute animal. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited, Joe, to take this thing out for its first rip. You know what? Let's fire this thing up. Make sure everything actually works. All that good stuff. I noticed one of my shocks on my Techno are leaking after yesterday's run. Now it's on the rear. I don't know if the cap came loose or something happened. They're bladderless emulsion shocks. So I'm not sure if something happened to one of those or what. I can't even keep up with everything going on in here. Trevor should run to cover anytime running a good remote for anything larger than... Wait a minute. Should run for cover. Yeah, and last night he got hit by a car at the track, and I mentioned this last night, but he got hit by a car at the track last night, and it wasn't me. So I'm not the only one. Like, I think somebody was mentioning on one of the other videos the other night, or last night, or today, that Trevor might have a gravitational pull of some sort, and there might be some sort of weird science type thing going on. I don't know. Now I gotta find batteries for this remote because I keep forgetting to get more batteries. I get new batteries, and then they die, and then I forget to get more, and then I start stealing them from one remote to another, and it drives me crazy. Because then you pick up a remote, and you leave with it, and then you find out it doesn't have batteries in it. I need to get one of those gigantic packs of batteries. I forget what company it was that they send... Somebody had like a battery... kind of like a battery subscription type thing where they would send you like whatever batteries you use on a regular basis, they would send you. I want to fist get. What the? Oh my God. I didn't even get into this conversation. Nope. Anyway, we'll chuck my 6S graphene battery in this thing for a second. I'm going to probably cut, like I do on all of them, cut this extra plug off because I never run a car on 2 batteries. I always just run them on a single 6S LiPo. And it's honestly kind of a... It takes them more room, and there's more plugs to come undone. I like just cutting these plugs off and doing a single battery, but... See what this thing does here. We'll bring it on the overhead. God. All right. Well, remote turned on, so that's promising. We got some beeps. The steering is all... Is this thing turned? This red LED is so bright that when you try to look at the controls... I mean, you see this? You try to look at the knobs just like that, And the light literally blinds you. You can't read on where the little arrow is. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, it wasn't too bad. It was actually, this thing was turned really hard. I mean, it's up off the ground, but the steering moves pretty quick. Now, steering rate, that's turned up the whole way. It's actually pretty, I mean, up off the ground. We'll see what it's like on the ground. Jeez. It's actually not too bad. I mean, the servo on this thing moves pretty quick. So, we got steering. Wheels turn. Wow, that is probably loud as all get out. I'm sorry for anybody out there on headphones. That was probably just ridiculous because I realized how close the car was to the microphone. So, it definitely, I mean, this is all stock. We'll see how it's like. I'll crank the punch up a little bit on this thing and see where I like it. But tell you one thing, that one back tire is really out of balance. What the? It's this one right here. Watch it. It is so wobbly, and it looks like it's the rim. It's mounted flat in there, and everything's tight, but she's a little off balance. But it's definitely got, you can tell the gearing on it, like, it seems like it winds up a little bit slower. So, might mess with the punch and crank it up a little bit, and, it's kind of hard to tell, you know, until you get it actually out there running and kind of see what, especially depending on where you're going to be running it. You want to take this thing, I have a feeling this is going to be a really fun truck to take to, like, the BMX track and stuff. It'd be probably a really good time on that type of terrain, I think. And we'll get to go out there and give it some launches. Yeah, I did, Lily, I already tightened up the wheel nuts. I went over pretty much all the main important stuff. The only thing I didn't check were the center brace nuts, but I went over all the motor screws and making sure that everything is tight before I take this on its first run, because I've learned that lesson the hard way, gone out and having screws and wheels falling off and everything else, so everything else seems pretty tight. So, I think we're good on that. It's the plastic. Some of the Mojave wheels are soft. Yeah. What other tires, are they the Pro line? What other tires are everybody running on these things that have been liking them? Or holding together well? Like I said, I'm going to leave the stock electronics in it for now. Until I either burn something up or get bored with it. So I will be just running it with the stock, electronics. So I'm not going to be blowing tires off it too crazy fast, hopefully. What size are the wheels on the Mojave? I don't know. I do not know what these are. I mean, they're 17 millimeter hexes, but I mean, they're D-Boots DT24AX, whatever that is. I don't see any of their numbers on them anywhere that says like any kind of dimensions, so. But yeah, they're D-Boots. Yeah, 24AX is what the model is on them. All right, RC Master. Have a good evening. I appreciate you stopping by if you were leaving. Proline Badlands Buggy, huh? You know, it seems to be the constant tire that everybody has good luck with in general are the Proline tires. I mean, honestly, out of all the tires I've been putting on anything, I've really enjoyed the Prolines. And just like these are the Proline Badlands MX that I got for the Typhon. And I mean, these tires have been awesome. I mean, even ripping this thing with the added gearing and the batteries, and these tires have held up great, have not come unglued, and just been perfect. never really had a lot of problems with Proline tires. Now, Duratrash is a whole other subject. But, hey, you guys like Duratrax? I get it. I mean, I like their tires. The tires are nice. Like, I like the tread patterns and the stuff that they have. I just wish that they would put together some better rims with better glue. And I think they would have a great tire. I don't think they sell any Walmart spinners for the Mojave there, Trevor. Where you come up with some of the things, I don't know. Oh, that's kind of weird that the Velcro starts grabbing immediately. But anyway, guys, the Mojave is pretty awesome. I think I have a lot of fun with this thing. Definitely can't wait to take this thing out and take it for its first rip. I'm hoping we're going to go down and have some better luck at the motocross, or not the motocross track, but the BMX track. Because the last time we went down there, we ran into, I think, a very bored police officer. Because he was the first one ever that told us we weren't allowed to run at the BMX track, which was kind of annoying because, you know, I initially wanted to just argue with them about the whole subject because we've been at this BMX track, I mean, dozens and dozens of times. I have been down there when literally the people that run the BMX track were down there cutting grass and putting up banners. And I asked them, I said, hey, is it okay if I'm down there? Like, yeah, it's fine. You know, we redo the track. You sweep it after, you know, before the stuff anyway. You know, the cars don't hurt it. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, everything was fine. Been down there, ran into two other cops while I was down there. And one cop just waved and said, hey, how you doing? The other one stopped and was asking me about the cars and asking about, you know, how fast they go and this and that. Rolled off and said, have a good day. And then we roll up there this one day with not a single person in that entire park. Because, I mean, it was colder out. We roll up there and the cop is parked at the BMX track for some reason. And as soon as we drop the tailgate, he sees the cars and he's just like, well, I'm just going to stop you there before you even bother. You're not allowed to drive those here. I'm like, what? Like, since when? And he just started rambling off a whole bunch of all I'm going to say is just total nonsense. And I just kind of, before, you know, bothering to get in an argument about that whole subject, we just left and went back and said, well, we'll come back down another day. Whenever, hopefully, he's got something to do. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I love, you know, our police officers, and they do a great job out there and that stuff. But, you know, when I told him, I even tried to tell him real quickly that, like, you know, you've been down here and got permission from the people that run it. He was basically calling me a liar, and I was just like, you know what? That's where it kind of ended the conversation. I was like, well, this is going to go nowhere. So, just kind of dropped the whole thing right at that point. So, but anyway, I think this will be a fun truck to take to the BMX track. I think it'll be perfect for stuff like that. Can't wait to take this thing out for its first rip. It's going to be fun. But I'm not going to keep you guys too much longer here. Just kind of figured tonight, Ray, I was about to start recording, and I thought, nah, you know what? I never decided to kind of do a little unboxing here on a live stream, so I figured get everybody on here. Oh, yeah, that was the other funny thing he tried to tell me. Now, anybody else, hold on. Anybody else in this chat room fly, or, you know, remote control planes or helicopters and stuff like that? And have you ever flown any at, like, a place that has, you know, a takeoff or a runway and stuff that's specifically built, like a park or something like that, that, you know, they have the stuff there for you to use? I'm just curious because this just sounded weird, because this was one of the things the cop tried to tell me was, we'll just end this after this. We're not going to continue on this whole subject because it's a dead subject, but he tried to tell me that even anybody that wants to fly an airplane there has to have $1 million insurance policy to even fly any planes there. And I'm like, I personally, I mean, I don't fly stuff, so I don't know, but the whole thing, like, just sounded insanity. I mean, how many people out there that have some remote control planes? I mean, granted, I know those remote control planes can get astronomically expensive. But how's your average guy that going out there is buying, $300-400 plane that wants to go fly it now has to buy $1 million insurance policy just to fly that thing? Are you kidding me? It didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. It was like, wait, what is going on here? When am I taking out for its first trip? Well, hopefully, I'm planning sometime this weekend. Tomorrow, I got to go do some stuff and help a sister move. Got to do some stuff like that. But I'm hoping Saturday or Sunday, I'm going to look at the weather and see which days are the nicest or the warmest. Because I don't want to take it out there if it's going to be 20 degrees and just shattering pieces. Because I know that it'll destroy the body, the A-arms, and everything else will shatter in that kind of temperature. So I don't want to kill it that fast on its first trip. Nice looking truck. But yeah, we'll definitely going to have it out here in the next, sometime this week and take it out for its first run. And I'll definitely put together a video so you guys can check it out and see what it's like and start making any changes to it to, start modifying it from there and kind of making it my own. Yeah, Black Sheep, it was, well, I do fly stuff, but it's just in a different form. They're not aircraft. How about that? I don't fly aircraft. Thought about attaching some wings, and a bunch of people told me that I need to try attaching wings to stuff to see if I could catch some longer airtime. Might work. That's about 6 big old planes in total. That's what I'm saying. And that's what made no sense to me, man, was literally the sign when you go into this park. There's the sign, and it says public RC airfield. Now, as soon as it says public RC airfield, you assume that it's for public use, for anybody, just like anybody coming in there to use the jungle gym, anybody coming in there to use the BMX track, anybody coming in there to use the soccer, they're all public use. Now, people coming in there and trying to go out and fish in their lake or go use their soccer fields aren't having to carry $1 million insurance policies. I think this cop was just, I caught maybe him on a bad day. I don't know, but he just fed us the biggest bunch of BS. And again, it's like you can't argue with the whole situation because it's going to be futile. It's just, it was going nowhere, so we left, and I think we went to the motocross track or wherever we went to. But I used to fly using a high school PE field on a runway. Yeah, around here you need a license. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see with license. It's just like with drones and stuff. If you go above whatever it is, I think 300 feet, you have to get a license, and you got to license them and stuff like that. But just cruising your basic RC plane around at a public use airfield, like I said, he was just, like I said, I think caught him on a bad day with the whole thing. For drones past 450 grams, you need insurance in Europe. It's $100 a year. Well, yeah. 450 grams. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, if you're flying drones regularly, $100 a year for what is it? A license? Is it need insurance. It's $100 a year for insurance. And over there. Well, I mean, again, that's not terrible, but I mean, I don't know, honestly, the total cost of what $1 million insurance policy is going to be, but it's not going to be cheap, especially for your recreational, weekend person that wants to go out and fly their plane around a little bit. Seems a little crazy. But for you can get permission. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. That's what bothered me about the whole situation was I already ran into the people that run the BMX track and talked to them down there. And on another occasion, I ran into the guy down there that was just down there cutting all the grass and doing all the stuff, and never had any issues down there. It was the first time ever we ran into a problem. So we'll be back down again. And I'm going to take this along with me. And I think, of course, the Italian, because that thing's a blast at the BMX track. We're going to try and put together a few different cars and head down there and have some fun at the BMX track again. Once this camera. Wait a minute. For extra fun, once it has a camera, it's a drone. With no camera, it's a flying vehicle RC that needs a license. What's the difference? So if it has a camera, you don't need a license? I mean, that's just, some of the laws that they come up with for things are just insanity. X-Max with a camera, a drone. There we go. I'm going to put a little camera on the X-Max, and now I have a 4-wheel drone. It just doesn't fly very high, it's a ground-born. Of course, we can make the X-Max fly, that's for sure. Take it easy, Trevor. Talk to you later, buddy. But anyway, guys, we won't continue on this. We just kind of wanted to do the little unboxing on the new Mojave, and we'll be having some videos coming up with this thing here and having some fun with it. But I hope everybody out there has a great evening and has a fun weekend. I hope, wherever you are, whether it be cold, warm, snow or not, you go out and get to have a little fun and get a little bash in and enjoy ourselves with the hobby, because that's what it's all about. Having some fun, guys. Just go out there and enjoy yourselves. Yeah, Joe, I've never seen it either, but All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to finish up this, we're going to wrap up this live stream and call it a night. And next time you see this thing, we'll have it out on the track and having some fun with it. But I think that's going to wrap it up. I really appreciate everybody stopping in and saying hi and joining in here tonight. Always appreciate all the support, guys. Yep, going to go send us some stuff. But I think that's going to do it. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great evening, and everybody have a good weekend. And we got lots more fun to come. We got some great videos coming up with the Max and a bunch of them. A lot of good stuff coming up, guys. So stay tuned. But I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. But until next time, y'all be safe. Be careful out there. Peace out, everybody.